Hey guys, it's Matt. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Alaska. Just like to welcome everybody that's new, everybody that's been subscribing recently. Have a lot of new faces, a lot of new names. Appreciate everybody who's been stopping by, leaving comments, watching the videos. It's been super great. So just to catch you up on who I am, obviously my name's Matt. Originally from Utah, grew up there. Have spent about 2 years of my life off and on up here in Alaska. First started coming up when I was in college to drive tour buses for the cruise lines. You'll hear me tell lots of stories about that in my videos. I drove 2 years for Holland America, based out of Fairbanks, and then, 2 seasons, I should say, and then 2 seasons based out of Anchorage, driving for Royal Caribbean. So I've been coming up here off and on ever since, and then 2023, I had the opportunity to move up here and live in an extended family member's cabin down on the Kenai in exchange for what the plan was to do some renovations and fixing it up and things like that. If you want to know more about that story and what happened there, you can check out some of the first videos on my channel. They're the very oldest ones, where I came up to the cabin and then 6 weeks later ended up actually heading back down to Utah instead of staying up here for the wintertime. So after the Kenai cabin plan fell through, I went back home to Utah for a year and then made the decision to try nomad life. So I purchased a 2024 Winnebago Micro Mini, 1821 FB was the model, and kitted it all out. Went all out for nomad life and put as much solar as I could on the roof, 3,000 watt Victron power system, 400 amp hours of batteries. Just had that thing ready to go for nomad life. And then I drove it up here in 2025. The plan was just to spend the summer up here in Alaska and then go back down south for the wintertime. But you know what they say about the best laid plans. When I got up here and started spending time up here, I realized that one, the Micro Mini was not a good fit for me, because I still work my IT job remotely. Having to sit at the dinette in the Micro Mini was killing my back for my day job. And then two, I decided I really wanted to own a piece of property. This lovely piece of property that we are standing on right here. So I started looking around, looked at quite a few different pieces over the course of a couple of months while I was camping out at Bill from My Alaska. Once again, thank you, Bill, for letting me stay with you all last summer. Super kind of him. And he's actually the one that did all the scraping here on the property, put in my driveway, which I'm super grateful for. So once again, thank you, Bill, for your kindness there. But while Bill was allowing me to camp on his property, I was out about adventuring, but also looking for a piece to buy. And as you can see, we ended up with this little, just under 1 acre here in Willow, Alaska. So at the end of last summer, I made the long trip back down to Utah. You guys can see all these videos of driving up and down the Alaska Highway on my channel. I got a lot of Alaska Highway videos. Took the Micro Mini back down to Utah, settled in at my parents' house for the wintertime, and then got busy trying to undo everything I'd done on the Micro Mini. Well, not everything, but I tore out the power system, took it in, and it just sat at the dealer lot for like 4 months, waiting for some warranty work to get done, because I was going to try and sell it, but then I decided to just trade it in on the current trailer, the Go Play trailer that you guys are seeing on the channel right now. Whew, it's getting a little buggy. It's late at night. It's a little humid. Just got done raining for the last few days, so the bugs are a little fierce right now. So that's a little bit of the background of the channel for all the new faces. I'll link a few of the videos that I mentioned down below, like coming up to live at the Kenai cabin, the video where I went through the process of purchasing, looking for and purchasing the land. I filmed most of that, so I'll put those in the links in the description for you guys to check out. Would appreciate it. Anyway, that's the quick introduction to me and the channel and this video. So this video covers the first 3.5 weeks that I was up here in Alaska after I got done with the Alaska Highway, which was the previous video to this one. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. One of the things about living in Alaska is there's not very many roads, and when something like this happens, you often get stuck on the road for an indeterminate amount of time. So this was unfortunately a caravan or a minivan of some sort that caught fire, and it actually ended up catching the vegetation on either side of the highway on fire. So the road was closed for about an hour as Willow Fire Department, Talkeetna Fire Department, and a wildland fire truck showed up to put everything out. As we drive forward here, you can see where the fire caught the vegetation on both sides, and then also the minivan right there on the left. So just something that happens in Alaska, no way around it, just had to wait it out. Alright guys, haven't been filming much. It's a little noisy in here because I got the AC running because it is 80 degrees in Willow today. I'm just hanging out in the trailer. It's getting towards the end of the first week that I've been here. But today I'm actually cooking the first meal on the stove in the trailer. So let me show you what I'm up to. Alright guys, nothing super exciting. I was just happy to finally be actually cooking something in the trailer for the first time. This is towards the end of the first week that I was there, and until then I had been eating pre-prepared things or just easy little snacky type things, or going down to the lodge and getting food there. Here I'm just making a really quick taco rice bean bowl thing. But like I said, I just wanted to show it to you because it is the very first meal that I'm making. And also I am super happy about this exhaust vent hood right here. The Micro Mini did not have one of these. And this one works really good. You can see the vent down there. It works really well for venting the heat of the stove out of the trailer. You can see the weather is pretty nice. So on the left is the outside temperature, and on the right is the temperature inside, along with humidity. You can see that it got up to a high of 80 degrees that day, and it got up to a high of 82 inside the trailer. So that's why I'm doing this voiceover, is because the AC was just cranking in there. But love this little outdoor weather station, helping me keep track of the temperatures inside and out. If you guys didn't see the trailer build out videos, that other temperature readout on the left is for the refrigerator and freezer. Refrigerator on top, freezer on bottom. So here I am showing you guys that I'm having a really hard time adjusting the flame on this stove. It's just not very adjustable. There's not much fine control. So I ended up overcooking some of this because, like I said, it was the first time I'm trying to cook something on this stove and just getting used to it. In fact, the dealer warranty service rep that I talked to about replacing the fan on the back of this said that he personally hates this stove. He thinks that they're just junk. So if I keep having too many issues with it, replacement stoves are possible. So we'll see. And here is the final product. It's the most bachelor food that you have ever seen, but it was pretty good. Just a basic rice bean taco meat bowl. The only thing that it was missing was sour cream and possibly some cilantro. I love cilantro. I know some people hate it because it tastes like soap. Looking at you, Mom. But it's the only thing that this thing was missing. First meal cooked in the trailer in Alaska. All right, good morning, fam. It is Saturday morning, the end of the first week up here in Alaska. We got here a week ago today. Yeah, it hasn't been a super exciting week, so I haven't been filming much. And once again, I'm on my phone today because I didn't bring my other camera stuff. It's mostly been a logistics and getting settled in and getting organized and doing a bunch of stuff in the trailer, storage unit, that kind of stuff this week. So it hasn't been much filming going on. I haven't done anything on the property yet, although I hope to change that later today. So definitely bring you guys along for that. But what we're doing right now is I need to drive all the way into Anchorage because I need to go to Costco to get a few things. And then we're going to go
stop in Wasilla for a few more things before we head back. So today's just a big supply run day. It's quite a drive. I'm not gonna do a big haul video or anything because I'm only getting a few things. But there's these specific protein bars that I like to have for lunch, and these shakes that I want, and a few other things. I've got a big list.
So this was a really nice day. It was about 63 degrees, and as you can see, blue skies and what I like to call Toy Story clouds, which are just those white puffy clouds that just kind of hang in the air. It was a really nice day, and it was the last nice day that I was going to see for about a week after this. First things first, we are going to be grabbing some coffee at Lead Dog, and then it is about an hour from Willow Town site down to Costco, and the view is just gorgeous today. Guys, we did make a quick detour into Mudbusters here in Wasilla because I wanted to wash my truck because I hadn't really given it a good wash since I got up here, and even before, I hadn't washed my truck in a long time. So $25 and 30 minutes at Mudbusters, and the truck is looking nice and pretty and shiny and clean again. So now we are on our way into Anchorage and to Costco. Driving into Anchorage is just gorgeous from this direction. Just mountain views all along the highway. We made it to Costco, and it is busy. So let's go find a place to park. All right, fam. Tell me how much you think I'm going to spend today. If you guys guessed $447, then you would have been correct. But that doesn't include $5 for lunch, and then another $50 or so in gas that I got while I was there because it was cheap. Anyway, we're on our way back to the valley where we gotta make one more stop, and then we'll head back to the trailer. And then hopefully later today I'll go out and work on the lands a little bit. All right, we'll be getting off here and going to Walmart. Ooh, the rumble strips, hear those Alaska mosquitoes. All right, guys, we made it back to the trailer. I got almost everything I needed at Walmart. But the only thing that they don't have, which makes sense because of all the heat that we've been having, is any sort of fan. I was hoping to get a wall mount fan for inside the bedroom area, but I'll have to order that online, I think. All right, guys, I need you to tell me if you think that this pile of clothes will fit in that stack of drawers there, and then that right half over there that I'm going to reorganize. What do you think? A couple of these things are going to hang up in that cabinet over there, but we'll see. All right, guys, I can't really snap, but we are going to see if this works. Dang it. Dang it. How about the old Brazil finger whip? All right, and just like that, it is all put away. Didn't really make the bed. Stuck shirts up there, hung a few things up, put some stuff in the drawers underneath the bed, and filled all those up. All right, welcome back to the DJI camera with the nice microphone again. Today is a Thursday after work, and I am running down to the gas station here at the Y for a totally unnecessary reason, solely because I want a Java Monster, and I want it, and I must have it like right now. So we're running over here to the gas station to get one because it's easier than running all the way down into Willow to get one down there. And then we're going to be going out to the property, and I'm going to be measuring out where I want the gravel pad to be expanded out to. Where's a good parking spot? I guess I'll just park right here. Yeah, I'm going to run down to the property, and we're going to measure out where I want the gravel pad to be expanded to. I'm going to be hammering in some landscaping, like survey stakes that I'm going to paint the ends orange so it's easier for me to see. And I'm going to need to make it big enough so that I can turn my trailer around on it, which some light Googling says like 70 to 80 feet wide. So I have 100-foot landscaping measuring tape, so we are going to be using that to kind of measure it out and mark where I want to go and see how I like it. So let's run in here. Currently at the gas station. I'm going to run and get my Java Monster that I drove out here to get, and then we're going to head back to the property, and I'm going to do some measuring and some staking. Yum. Alright, liquid has been obtained, and I will be sufficiently caffeinated for the rest of the day. I'm having a surprisingly hard time adapting to the summer light this year. I think I need to do some work on the bedroom part of my trailer to make it darker. But I'm finding that I'm getting pretty tired earlier in the day and just having a hard time going to sleep. So, getting old, man. Anyway, we are headed back towards the property. Just been absolutely gorgeous weather, like I said, the last week and a half. But we did get a little bit of rain last night. I think we're supposed to get a little bit of rain this weekend. I'll have to check the weather forecast again, but then it's supposed to be really nice all next week. So, looking forward to that, because next weekend, I think, I will be leaving the campground where I've been staying and heading south down to the Kenai to hang out at the cabin. My brother and his wife and their kids are coming up for a visit, and so I'm going to go down there, and they've done a ton of work on the cabin property. I don't know if they're going to be comfy with me showing the outside, but I'll see if I can at least give you guys a look at what they did on the inside of the old log cabin that I came up to do in 2023. If you guys remember my very first video that went viral. I'm gonna go down there and hang out for a few weeks, so videos might be light until I get back. As of the recording of this clip, I still have not edited nor posted any video of the trip up, so I still do have to work on those, and then whatever video this clip is in will be the next one after that. So that's kind of what's going on. I'll see you guys at the property. Look at just how gorgeous day. Oh, and it's 71 degrees according to my truck. All right, just painted the ends of these orange so they're easier to see. I gotta decide. This is not gonna be square. I'm just kind of measuring it out from where I want it to be. So let's go here. All right, let's go measure, see how wide this initial pad that Bill put in was. Can't put those around these bigger stakes that I bought on accident, but a hammer will do. All right, this is about 47 feet. So we're gonna have to go, yeah, 47 feet ain't enough. Where's the property line's right there. Huh, got survey flags, pieces of survey flags from the winter. All right, how far is it to the property line from there? Because I could always scrape this wider. Okay, so 60 feet, which is the width that I want, is right about here-ish. Right about to the edge of the hole that Bill dug. And I gotta put a Band-Aid on this, on my knuckle, otherwise I'm gonna keep bleeding everywhere. All right, there's a huge fly in my truck, but we're not worrying about it right now. All right, so we know that the second stake is going to go over here by the hole, formerly for the outhouse. All right. So more or less at the corner of the thing here is 60 feet. All right, that's about 60 feet. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna walk through the bushes over here, but I am just gonna measure from the edge of the thing here and see how far that way I wanna go. We'll run this out to the max. Okay, so I've got the tape measure hammered down into the ground. This is just, like I said, rough estimates. I'm gonna go out here to the end of this tape measure. More survey flags on the ground. Try not to kill myself on this old burned wood piled up from Bill. All right, I should have put on long pants for this, I think. So this is, rather than continuing to go back here right now, because I need long pants for this. Let's see where 50 feet is. Now this is 70 feet. If you guys can see me over there. Where did I leave the camera? Did it blow over? Oh, camera, where art thou? Oh, there you are. I see you guys. Anyway, this is about 70 feet to this dead tree right here. So we won't even... I'll probably just grab the spray paint. I'll just spray paint that tree really quick. But that is 70 feet. So I think 40 by 70. What do you guys think? Will that be enough to get the trailer in here? Yeah, I don't know. I think I may want to go all the way to 100 feet. All right, guys, new plan. I am going to come back tomorrow where I'm wearing pants and run this line that I just measured all the way out to 100 feet, which is going to require me to bushwhack, and I'm wearing shorts. Didn't even think about it, so we'll come back and do that. But I think the width will be fine. I think it's about 40 feet from that post right there to the hole over there. So probably what I will do is bring the pad over to where the driveway kind of is. And I don't know, there's some live trees that are a little taller that I don't want to get rid of. So maybe we'll just kind of have a little thing here. I don't know, let me flip you guys around. All right, so here's the little spruce trees or pine trees, whatever these are. Spruce, I think. So I want to take the line from that stake over there and stretch it to 100 feet up the property line that way. And then I will take a line from this stake here and take it 100 feet up in that direction. And that will kind of mark out where I want the gravel pad parking area. That'll give me plenty of room to turn the trailer around, plenty of room to put in shed and utilities and things. And then probably the structure will go tucked back in that area of the property somewhere, not right next to the pad. Look at all this dead stuff that I also want to clean up this summer if I can. But what I might do is get a bigger excavator, because there's about 6 inches of overburden above the gravel. You can see that Bill did scrape down to some gravel right there, but there's about 6 inches of dirt on top of the gravel, and there's not really a place to put it. So I was thinking I would just push it up here, but talking to my neighbor Jeff, what I might do is just off the property line over here, I'll have to look up the regulations, but mine my own gravel over here on the edge of the parking area where there's not really going to be anything, just like maybe a temporary outhouse or gray water dump right there, and then mine my own gravel along the property line, and that will give me a place to push all of this dirt into. So I thought that was a pretty good idea, something I hadn't thought of. I was just going to have gravel brought in if I thought I needed it, but he said that that's pretty common to do up here. So yeah, I think that will be the plan. But like I said, I'm not wearing pants. So I was like, it's hot and I didn't want to wear pants, but I didn't think about having to traipse. Sorry, I got a sticker in my shoe. That's another reason why I'm done out here for the day. Didn't think about having to bushwhack through the woods here. And by the woods, I mean the bushes on my little 1 acre here. So yeah, I'm gonna call it for the day, and we'll come back tomorrow. Should be nice, like I said, well, it's supposed to rain this weekend, but it should still be nice enough tomorrow that I can come back over here and do this. And we'll finish marking this out. So I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, it's actually a few days later, and we are running errands down in town. When I left the property a couple days ago, I actually went to drive down to the Sheep Creek Lodge from the property and met Reeve and Crystal from Flat Tire Farm there. So we had dinner. That was really fun. But now I'm in town. Today's a Saturday, and we're picking up a bunch of stuff at the orange store at Walmart. Already been to Walmart, just got out of the orange store. And now we're gonna go run a couple more errands, do laundry, and head out to the property. It's shaping up to be a beautiful Saturday here in Alaska. Still at the orange store here, but it is partly cloudy. It is 63 degrees, although it feels a lot warmer out there. It was a little chilly this morning actually, but sun came out and now it is just great weather. A little bit of a breeze, so we'll see what it's like when I get back to the property, but it's a nice day. All right, so we just left Home Depot. There's a lot of traffic on the Palmer-Wasilla Highway today. Wow, a lot of traffic. But I decided that I am hungry, so we are going to go to everybody's favorite fast food place, because I also need to grab some cash out of the bank, and it's right next to the bank. But I'll show you when we get there. Here's the traffic. Turned out, you can see the sign for Home Depot there. Just a lot of people on the Palmer-Wasilla Highway today, trying to get into Wasilla. Projects are heating up. Home Depot was pretty busy. So was Walmart, actually. But summer is definitely in full swing now. Everybody's out doing projects and activities and getting everything we need. I saw a family picking up just a huge load of sauna tubes. I assume to put in a foundation for something. Yeah, busy day. Not a ton of snow left on the mountains up there, so hopefully they'll have Hatcher Pass open in a couple weeks, so we can go up and have fun in Hatcher Pass this year. All right, guys, I won't tell you what I just had for lunch, but here's a clue. Anyway, now that lunch is done, we are making a quick stop in here. All right, we did the thing we needed to get at Freddy's, so now we are going out to, as long as cars don't pull out in front of me, my dash cam, which is up there. We are going out to do the last errand of the day, which is to do laundry. It's laundry time. All right, guys, just got done doing laundry here in Meadow Lakes. You see my laundry basket right there. So, what I'm going to do now is actually hopefully go out and meet somebody to sell the 2 batteries that were in the Micro Mini. Hold on, I got to make a left turn out onto the parks here. Yeah, gonna go hopefully sell the batteries that were in the Micro Mini. I had them listed for $500 for both, or $300 each. And a guy messaged me. They're currently camping out at Montana Creek, and he's interested in them. So I'm gonna go pick them up. I did already get gas while I was waiting for my laundry to get done, so we are all fueled up. It is 69 degrees, nice. And we're gonna hopefully go sell some batteries. But also, it's been a spendy money kind of day, so I think that I'm gonna stop by Miller's and get my strawberry shake that I love so much, because what's another $7 on top of the $600 I've spent today, at least. All right, so we sold the batteries. Really nice guy. He and his wife live off-grid somewhere off of Pittman down there in Meadow Lakes. And they summer up here, and then they winter down in Arizona, actually. They said they got a van that they store down there, so they just lie down and tool around in their van for the wintertime. So it's it sounds nice. And so yeah, he paid me what I asked for the batteries. Seemed really excited about using them, so I was just going to use them in his garage to charge and power various things, because they live totally off-grid. So we are on our way back to the trailer, and then I don't know if I'm going to go out to the property today. It's about 4 o'clock, and I've been going, so I want to kind of sit and chill for a bit. So we'll probably go work on the property tomorrow, which is Sunday. And also, I need to start editing the Alaska Highway videos. I haven't started doing that yet. So yeah, I need to get that done as well. So I think I'll work on that a little bit today. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, we are going to get one project done today. I am going to put tinfoil on this window. It does have, this is in the bedroom, by the way, but it does have this shade, but these shades, the ones in the Micro Mini were not pleated. They were just flat shades that pulled down. These are like tension pleated shades, but it does not completely block out all the light. And like I think I mentioned in another clip, I'm having a hard time adjusting to the daylight this year for some reason. Got some tin foil pulled out, and then I bought some painter's tape while I was in town today to tape it up there. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, behold the world's greatest tin foil window covering job. I will brook no argument on this topic. It is the finest piece of tinfoil art you have ever seen. Got a skosh of light coming through, but that'll do. There's not much that can be done for under the door and around the door, so there always will be a little bit of light in here, but it is so much darker in here now, you guys have no idea. This will be great. All right, last thing is we got to put the screen back on, which I just sat over here on top of my clean laundry, so that I still want to be able to open this window for airflow during the day, because it can get a little toasty up here in the nose of the trailer when the sun is beating on it. And so what I've been doing is just opening that window and then opening the door over here, and that lets tons of air through here. It cools it down pretty good, so that way I don't have to run the AC at night to cool it down up here. So I'm going to pop the screen back in, and then we'll be good to go. Perfect. And then to open the window, all you gotta do is do this and then fold it out. And now I've got a screened in window there with tin foil, and no mosquitoes getting in. Hopefully. I have caught one big huge mosquito in here today. Okay, last thing on the docket is I'm gonna do what every single bachelor man with any worth does, and I'm going to chuck all of this clean clothes on the floor and deal with it tomorrow. There's a couple of them. Alright guys, we are on the move. I have the trailer behind the truck. We're all packed up. We have left the campground and we are headed down to the Kenai to hang out at the old cabin with my brother and his wife for a few weeks. So this video about the first few weeks up here since I got up here is going to be a little haphazard. Didn't get a lot done other than settling in and figuring out how I want to live and organize my trailer. Did a lot of hanging out with friends. Did a lot of driving into town. Did a little bit of work on the property, as you saw. I hammered in a couple of corner stakes, and I know about how big I want the pad. I just have not gotten back over there to finish staking it out, because it doesn't really need to be done right away until I get back up from the Kenai. I just want to say that today's the solstice and it is kind of hazy and a little bit grumpy. It's supposed to be rainy down where the cabin's at, but should be a nice day to make the drive down there. Just a quick pit stop. This is the South Anchorage Costco, which is way easier to get into with a trailer. Alright, snacks have been obtained and also gasoline at Costco in South Anchorage, so we are going to be headed further south to the Kenai and the cabin. Alright, still trucking along, turning an arm here on the Seward Highway, but it is windy. And once again, I am contemplating my life's choices by towing a heavy trailer, 30-foot trailer with a half-ton pickup, because it's pushing me around a little bit. Today's mileage, since we left the South Anchorage Costco, is 7.2 miles per gallon. It's that top left number there. Alright, coming up on the turn off to Girdwood. You're at the Alyeska Highway if you want to go out to the resort, and you can see the ski resort up there on the mountain there to the 11 o'clock-ish. Girdwood's an interesting little town. I've been there a number of times. Used to pull into the gas station here on the left at Speedway, working for Royal Caribbean. If we were coming north without passengers,
because sometimes we would pick them up from the boat and drive them to the railroad station down in Seward, and then we would deadhead with the luggage back north. And so sometimes I would stop there and take a break, use the restroom, buy some snacks, just kill time until we had to be wherever we were going. Sometimes we would go into Alyeska, so we would pick the guests up at the Girdwood Railroad Depot. I have a picture of the train coming in there, and then my bus waiting for the train at the Girdwood Rail Depot. But more often than not, we would be headed into Anchorage, and so we would. I just stopped there for gas, or not for gas, but I just stopped there for snacks and a stretch break, and then head on north towards Anchorage. I keep seeing all the Premier Alaska Tours buses going by, and they bought all of the buses from Royal Caribbean when Royal Caribbean shut down their busing operation after the 2012 season, and it makes me miss that job. It's a great job for a college kid. I don't make very much money, which is why I don't do it for a living anymore. But for a college kid, or as just a summer gig, if you've got something else to do in the wintertime, it's great. And it was so much fun. It was my favorite job I've ever done. And anybody that I know that you can ask, well, they'll tell you that's what I've always said has been my favorite job ever, was the summers driving up here in Alaska. Makes me miss it when I see those Premier Alaska Tours buses coming by. I don't know if you guys will be able to see there, but that's the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. And we stopped there all the time. Almost every itinerary that I drove where I had to come down here to Seward for Royal Caribbean, we stopped there. A really neat place. They do really good stuff with rescue animals, and they've got elk there. Only place in Alaska that you can see elk that I'm aware of. Maybe they have some at the zoo, but they've got some there. They've got bears, they've got lynx, they had eagles, all sorts of fun stuff at the AWCC. I should stop in there one of these days, but not while I'm towing a 30-foot trailer. And why are we slowing down so much? The speed limit's 65 here, guys. Anyway, Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. You should go visit it if you're ever up here. Speaking of Premier buses, there went one. That one's too new to be an old RCT bus, but I've seen a few of the older Prevost motor coaches come by that could possibly have been from Royal Caribbean. Hard to say. Alright, we're climbing up into Turnagain Pass here in a minute. This is quite the little climb. We're climbing from sea level, and we're almost 1,000 feet in elevation now. And once again, I'm just keeping my truck right at 3,500 RPMs, which is where this motor makes peak torque. And no reason to really push the truck harder than it needs to. Just set it right at a comfy RPM there, and just climb right up the hill. I just love the drive once you get around the corner by the AWCC and you get actually onto the Kenai Peninsula. It's just a gorgeous drive. I mean, the Turnagain Arm is gorgeous too, but I prefer driving through the pass personally. Anyway, we're gonna stop here at the Turnagain Pass rest area because I want to check on the stuff in the back of the rig and use the rest area here. And it's just gorgeous. Take you guys around for a minute. So this is Turnagain Pass. It's big, you can tell it was carved out by a glacier because it's nice and swoopy. Not jagged like if it was carved out by a river. You can really see it looking down the pass here, how it looks all bowl-shaped. Means it's a glacier valley and not a river valley. Just look how gorgeous it is. Take you guys down here so you can see at the end of the parking lot.
There's hiking you can do here. You can see all the waterfalls along the canyon walls there coming down from the snow that's still melting. Great area for snow machining in the wintertime. And it's just gorgeous. It's a little bit of a grumpy day today, so it's cloudy and windy and like 60 degrees, and I'm wearing shorts and a light shirt. Let's walk down here to the end. Alright. You can just see down the rest of the pass. See the Seward Highway. There's another rest stop for the northbound traffic on that side. I have stopped plenty of times at both of these rest stops over the years, especially with the buses. We would pull in here all the time. Yeah, this is the Turnagain Pass. It's a pretty drive. All right, back in the truck. Push on towards the cabin. All right, fam, we're gonna end the video here of the first 3 weeks up here in Alaska. Sorry it was a little random and kind of all over the place. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, 3 weeks. Just been hanging out with friends and getting settled into the trailer, figuring out how I want to live in it, moving stuff to the storage unit. You saw I did a little bit of fiddling on the land. We're gonna get to that in earnest once I'm back from hanging out with my brother and his wife down here at the cabin for the next few weeks. So we're gonna end it here in the Turnagain Pass. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that hype button if you have a hype. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Speaking of me stopping here when I used to drive for Royal Caribbean, there's a Premier Alaska Tours bus pulled in here for a break, it looks like. He doesn't have any passengers on there, so he's deadheading. But yeah, just imagine me, what was it? 14 years ago. That was me.